Military personnel spend a lot of time in remote places, places where ordinary people don't usually go. But the strange thing is that the most terrifying stories don't happen on distant battlefields, but in the deep forests within America itself. There's an interesting map that shows where people have disappeared in the United States, and when you overlay another map of cave systems on top of it, you find a terrifying correlation. Maybe some got lost and died, or maybe there was something else. What you're about to hear is a true story of a former Marine who grew up in the woods and spent his entire childhood among the trees. But after what happened to him, in one night, he no longer enjoys the woods the way he used to. This is the story of a man who believes he was intelligently hunted by something that knows how humans think. His name is Ryan, a Marine who had just returned from his first tour in Iraq. He grew up in an area where the high desert begins to turn into forest, lots of trees, but little water. He spent his entire childhood exploring that area until he knew it like the back of his hand. When he came home on leave, he wanted only two things: to drink with his old friends and to return to those woods. One night, he and his close friend, another Marine we'll call Jake, decided to go out and hunt down a pack of coyotes that had been attacking local ranches. They'd been doing this for years and were good at it. Coyotes are nocturnal animals that make distinctive howling sounds, making them easier to hunt at night. Ryan and Jake had a well-known tactic. They'd follow the sounds until they got close to the den, then surround it from two sides. That night, everything started normally. They heard howling sounds and began approaching. But after a few minutes, both of them felt something strange. "Something's not right here," Ryan said. "I feel it too," Jake replied. The sounds were different. Ryan assumed it was because they hadn't been hunting in a long time, and maybe the coyotes had changed their tactics. But the strange feeling persisted. Still, they decided to continue. They'd come this far when they got to about 25 yards from what they thought was the coyote den. They suddenly stopped. Both realized at the same moment, this is clearly not what it seems. The coyote sounds were too accurate, scarily accurate, and they were moving strategically, as if something was trying to lure them to a specific location. They decided to retreat silently, exit the grove of trees, and wait to see any movement. Less than an hour passed. Then, Jake called Ryan by his last name, which was strange between them as childhood friends, but normal in the military. Minutes later, they saw movement. What emerged from the trees was not a coyote. It was something the size of a human, but it was as tall as the trees themselves, 7 to 10 feet tall. Ryan doesn't know whether what he felt was post-traumatic stress from the war or just primal fear, but he aimed his weapon and fired. He expected the thing to fall after a few steps, but it didn't fall. It kept walking. Jake fired too. Same thing. They went into battle mode and kept firing, determined to kill it. They thought it had been trying to lure them, because it knew how they hunted and tried to use that against them. Then the thing suddenly stopped. It turned perpendicular to their position and walked away. Ryan was using a .308 rifle and Jake a .30-06. This thing should have dropped after the first 5 rounds, but it didn't. They thought about chasing it, then realized, whatever it takes to kill it, they didn't have it. They made a tactical retreat for about a quarter mile, then ran at full speed home. A week later, they found the actual coyote, then 10 miles away on the opposite side of town. Whatever that thing was, it had been hunting them the entire time. It led them in the wrong direction, far away, for a very long time, and it planned accordingly, because it even knew how to leave feces and urine from different members of a coyote pack to convince them. It studied them. It knew how they hunted, and it turned their knowledge against them. Ryan and Jake still hunt when necessary, but they always talk about that one time when they were the prey. The American forests are full of secrets. Some can be explained, and some cannot. Ryan is a trained military man who spent his life hunting and survived a war. But something in those woods was smarter than him. Something that knows how to mimic, how to plan, and how to stalk humans with terrifying patience. He still wonders too. This day, was that thing trying to kill them? Or was it just playing? And since that night, the woods he loved all his life no longer feel the same. Some things in the wild don't fear humans. Some things hunt those who think they're the hunters. And some things won't drop, no matter how many times you shoot them. If you're in the wilderness one day and you hear familiar sounds in a creepy way, sounds of animals you know, but something seems wrong, just remember Ryan's story. Trust your instinct and leave quickly.